I think it's excellent to be in front of or on the camera in front of your group and explain some things that are happening, and they're all very good things. But as Andrea mentioned, I'm Alan Nauman. I am the CEO. I've been with MDaemon for 20 years now, and started off in different types of positions, and then have finally gotten to where I'm at, and I work very closely with Arvel and Jerry Donald still. Um, but they are retired, and the good news, we are still our very small company, still privately owned, and still working very hard to do exciting things.
All right, cool. Thanks, Alan. So, Arvel, the man
Yeah.
that needs no introduction, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, my friends, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's great. It's been a long time, man. Long time. Well, I mean, it's just an honor to get asked to come on to be with you guys. It's great. It's been way too long since I've seen everyone. So, what I've been doing is I retired some years ago, and I live out in the countryside now, in the very middle part of Texas, and love it, love it. Wouldn't change it. A lot of things to deal with out in the country, but it's very peaceful. The sky at night is dark and gorgeous. You can take a lot of photographs, get to see the sunset. It's quite nice. But I've been keeping track of what's going on with the business, and with email lately, at least the parts of it that I was involved in heavily in the past, and a security oriented type of thing. And still following all that, there's still stuff going on in that area even today that's fantastic in my opinion. But those kind of things, I mostly take pictures of the sky at night nowadays, and there's a lot of wild animals out here that we have a huge feral hog problem. I don't know if y'all have that. Wild boars.
No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you explain what is it?
Okay, 200 to 300-pound pigs that are wild with teeth coming out of their, there's about, I think, 9 million of them living in the wilderness in Texas, in the United States, many millions in Texas. And since September the 7th, for now, how long is that? 3 months, more than 3 months. My property has been being attacked by these creatures in large packs. So we were really having to go after them virtually every night. I just put up about a mile of fence. The only reprieve I have in all this time is I put up a mile of fence that supposedly they can't come through. But other people, the old timers out here in the country, they say there's no fence that can stop them. They'll get through. Yeah. But my west side border still has a fence that they can come in all the time. So I'm still watching for them, but we have to hunt them down. And it seems strange to talk about this being the subject, but it's been.
Yeah, right, you're right. And nobody would think that wild boars can be more exciting than email protocols, right?
Hey, both are exciting. Both are exciting.
Both are, yeah. Just a quick words in Italian. So, parliamo del problema dei cinghiali nel Texas che hanno raggiunto anche delle dimensioni notevoli. We do have problems with boars in Italy too.
Yeah.
They're all over. Actually, in some city, they just go downtown for a drink and you can see them walking in the streets. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to technology. We have to behave, otherwise we would be scolded. So I assume you have a good internet connection, Arvel. Even though you're in the middle of nowhere, you can be connected and work with Alan and the team.
Yes, but let me explain how I'm even doing it right now. There is no internet here where I'm at. There's no service provider that will give me any cable link or anything like that. I have to use my phone. I have cell service here. So I am able to, and I've been doing it for 9, 7, 8 years, running everything just off my cell phone, and it's good enough, But no, we don't have any provider out here. So
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Yeah, I wonder what the wild boars they use to connect to the internet. So they must have. All right. So, well, thanks for this first round. So let's dive right into it. So what's brewing? Is there anything interesting coming up from the technical standpoint? Who wants to pick the question?
Yeah, I'll take that. We are always busy, it seems like, and there's never enough time. You would think that email is just a static or constant thing, but it is always changing, and it's unbelievable how much it changes in terms of security.
Mm-hmm.
So we remain very focused on security at all times. It's really the core of what we do. I did pick a few highlights from the roadmap, and then I have a couple of other things that I think are exciting. If you'd like me to mention those, Andrea.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Let me know if you need me to pause at any time and translate or, okay. And hopefully some of you or most of you see our roadmap. It does come out quite often as it's always changing.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of we've just released 24.5.1 just last week. So that's our most recent version. But now we're heading for MDaemon 25. And that we'll target for March or April of 2025 for that release.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of things, a couple of highlights that I thought might be interesting to your audience and to the audience that's here. QR code detection. QR code threats are becoming very, very popular amongst those who are trying to cause harm.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who may not understand or know, a QR code can be inserted into an email sent to a given audience. And if the audience were to scan that with their phone, they're going to completely bypass any spam or antivirus filtering. So it's happening quite often. It's probably one of the biggest trends right now in threats,
Okay.
especially for phishing. It's an excellent mechanism, if you will, for phishing attempts. So we will have that ready for MDaemon 25. Administrators will have the option to detect for QR codes in inbound messages. And then, of course, administrators will have the option on, what steps to take with those emails if they need to be quarantined, completely rejected, typical of any of our security options. So very, very important that we get that out because it is one of the most popular security threats we see.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I mean, maybe widening the scope of the conversation. So you're still standing strong as an on-prem mail server in a world of cloud solutions, and your focus is still 100% on security. And this QR code things, I think that has blown out of proportion. I mean, after I don't know about the US, but here in Italy, after the pandemic. Or even during the pandemic, but especially after the pandemic, we have QR codes all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go to the restaurant and they don't give us menus anymore, so we just scan those QR codes. And so as soon as there is a QR code, people tend to what's the right word? Shoot it or scan it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's super dangerous, right? So once again, I don't know if you're ahead of the curve, but you're certainly on the ball. Trying to protect users from that threat.
Yes, yeah, and it's QR codes, as you mentioned, are very common in the consumer and retail industry, but now they're very, very present in the business communications in the United States, and I imagine it's similar in Europe.
Yeah.
Even some service providers are sending QR codes to sign up for services.
Yeah.
And that's very risky for businesses to accept those. So we're going to get in front of that. We'll be ready, very much ready for MDaemon 25 with QR codes.
Mm.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm curious about Arvel's opinion, but there is something very weird into sending a QR code within an email message. right? I mean, you read the email on your PC or on your phone, so just click it or tap it. But apparently, QR codes are
people will do
appreciated.
it. Yeah, people will do it. And you're right when you pointed out about how the conditioning aspect is kind of new in this. They will habitually click the thing thinking it's innocent if it's a new vector that's coming in. There are new vectors like that we're always have to watch for that. You always have to watch for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Sorry for interrupting. What do you have anything else you want to share, Alan?
Yeah, just a couple more things and a couple of things that aren't published yet. One thing that we're doing, and this is, I know it's not the most prevalent in your market, but we are going to improve support for closed networks. These are deployments of MDaemon server that for many reasons cannot call our licensing system on a regular interval to check the whether the license is valid. And what we're seeing is many municipalities, governments, even schools, and for us it even goes into Japan, into fishing fleets, cruise ships. We are getting many requests for closed network licensing is what we're calling it. And as I mentioned, it's just simply a license that is issued and it remains in place for a year without needing to talk to our our detection systems for validating the license. So we're going to improve that process. Right now, it's very difficult for the user of those licenses to be issued the license. It requires assistance from our team on a license by license request. We're going to improve that and issue it to partners that have the need, so they can issue these licenses and self-administer these licenses. Again, it may not be so prevalent yet in parts of Europe. We do have one area of Europe that is asking for it immediately. And we're seeing it emerging all over the globe, quite honestly, and the government opportunities for licensing. As you said, we're still a on-premise provider. One of the few that are left in the email industry, one of the few with such expertise.
Yeah. And you mentioned that it's hard for the user, but what's hard for the user has an impact on the reseller, on the guys and the gals that are following
correct
right now. If you don't mind, just 2 words in Italian. Quindi funzionalità che semplifica la vostra vita nella gestione delle licenze in ambienti che non consentono la connessione del mail server a internet e quindi al license server di MDaemon. Naturalmente ho dimenticato di dirlo prima, ma se anche voi avete domande, commenti o qualunque altra forma di espressione, non siate timidi, abbiamo una bella occasione per parlare con i 2 leader di MDaemon. Quindi non siate timidi, grazie mille. All right, sorry Alan, back to English now. I invited our audience not to be shy and to chime in whenever they feel they want to add something or ask something. So back to you, Alan. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
I do. Just a few items that aren't on our roadmap, but that we are very much in pursuit of, or working on, I should say. We talked about email security, and it's important to us and really remains at the core. We are very intent on introducing AI security in terms of antivirus and anti-spam. We are speaking to many providers. One of the challenges is, as an on-prem provider, most of those solutions are very service-based or cloud-based. And we are trying to really focus on integration, at the on-premise server, rather than sending customers' information to the cloud and then come back to an email server. That's acceptable by some of our customer base across the world. But for many, it is not acceptable. So we're trying to overcome that challenge, but I think AI is going to be a very important part of our security future. It's already trending quite well.
Yeah. Do you have an ETA, just you know, to?
We would love to have the first layer introduced in MDaemon 25.
Oh, really? That early? Okay.
It just depends on the progress that we can make. Again, AI is a challenge for integration for everyone. It's not the consumer AI that we all see in our browsers, and those we see it everywhere as consumers. It's a little bit more technical in terms of how to integrate and deploy and trust AI as security. So we're working hard. Hopefully, we'll have something by MDaemon 25. Can't guarantee it, but that's our goal.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, so I mean, it's not years out, couple of months or whatever.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we're very focused on. We just, another thing that is going to happen, we are in testing mode right now, is we will insert free video conferencing into MDaemon webmail. This is not to be mistaken as a replacement for, Teams or Zoom or any preferred cloud platform. We are getting, however, many, many requests for a simple peer-to-peer video conference tool within our webmail.
Okay.
It's trending.
So paint a picture for us about the use case, Alan. You said it's not Teams. Okay, I get that, but what is it?
Yeah, so it's very similar. However, because we are not going to introduce it as a platform, a hosted platform, and that's not what we're being asked to do. It's simple peer-to-peer video conferencing. It'll be a turns and stun server, which is, used to deliver signaling at the server level. It'll be a service that runs on the MDaemon server that the customer has deployed. And then users on that same MDaemon server can video conference with each other in a secure and encrypted manner.
Right. Yeah. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's just something that's available. We have the technology and we have the development team to do it. So we will bring that into it should be fully ready by MDaemon 25. Again, it's a limited audience, I think. It is very much requested. I often question the need because there are so many solutions out there that we ourselves embrace, whether it's Teams or Zoom. But nonetheless, the opportunity is there. People are asking for it, so we will add that in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alan, because I have a couple of questions, and the very last one actually is very interesting. It's from Cesare, and he said that if you could integrate, or the question is ambiguous, but Cesare offers two possible interpretation, I believe. So the topic is Slack. Do you think that you can either implement some Slack functionalities or integrate Slack within World Client?
Yeah, so excellent question. And we have done some work on Slack. We did some initial Slack integration in 2022. We then shifted over, we shifted our priority over to Teams to do a few things there. We don't get as many requests for Slack, but I would be very interested if it's, if you're trending very well in Italy or, within everybody's day, because there are some opportunities there and we could finish that project hypothetically.
Yeah, so I propose that I wish I was able to run a survey, but I'm not. But just two words in Italian. Se ci sono tra di voi persone che hanno richieste di Slack, ci potete dare un feedback sulla chat, per favore? Intanto quella di Cesare è già sentita forte e chiara. Sentiamo gli altri. Okay, so I asked the audience to tell us if there is an opportunity for, or better yet, if there is demand for Slack. And in the meantime, the other question which was asked simultaneously by Cesare and by Carlo is about, I think, Arvel's favorite topic, which is Outlook connector. We are in 2024 and people are still using Outlook connector. Happily, sometimes not so happily, because the performances are not always the best they could be. Is that product still live? Are you still dedicating resources?
Yes, the answer is yes, it's still alive. The challenge is Microsoft,
Right.
will stop supporting the Microsoft Outlook client. That is already on their roadmap to cease support for it. Once that happens, we will not have any integration capabilities. They are moving to their web platform.
Okay.
We could do some add-ins similar that we've done with Teams, some plugins, if you will, but it will not be the same. So we're challenged with that. The answer, however, is we are still dedicating resources and still working on Outlook Connector or MDaemon Connector. But we do see a point in the future, and I think that is probably in about 2 years, that Microsoft will, really shut us vendors out. And we're not alone. There are 4 or 5 of us still fighting that battle, if you will.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to win. I would offer that, and this is one of my next points. I offer that we will certainly do our best to introduce other opportunities to connect to MDaemon server and deliver a good client experience. We will pursue any opportunities that Microsoft allows. Right now, they are not publishing what they are doing. That does not help an OEM software development company. But that's how Microsoft usually handles their SDK, if you will.
Yeah.
In 2451, we have launched a relationship and a integrated solution with EM Client. EM Client is a excellent provider of a installable desktop Windows or Mac OS email client. They are out of Czechoslovakia, but they have been around for many, many years. They are translated or localized in 20 different languages, and especially Italian. I don't want to say that that's going to solve the problem of MDaemon Connector and its future. We don't expect that EM Client is a good solution for everyone. However, I can promise you that it is a very well organized and mature email client. And we're getting great feedback for those who have tried it. Again, we just released integration last week. EM Client has worked with MDaemon for many years. However, now we have a direct relationship with EM.
Okay.
We have integrated some of their licensing technologies, and we will push that as an alternative, amongst others. We will try and do our best to find other solutions. Again, integrate with Microsoft where we can. And that's really where we're at. It's a tough battle with Microsoft on the Outlook client, because they themselves will no longer support it in 2 to 3 years. Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry, the time is flying, and it's my fault. But I think that you've given us some interesting, like a sneak peek into the future, into the near future, also, which is very good to hear. Let's move just a second to the price increase, because that's I mean, many vendors keep increasing prices, and they just do it from their ivory tower. And I think it's great that you guys are here. And I would like to ask you very bluntly, what brought you? I mean, you haven't raised prices in ages. I think we still had the lira when you increased last time. What's going on?
Yeah, so it's certainly been challenging. We did do a price increase it's been about 2 years. We did a price increase in October of 2022.
But it was more like a rounding thing. It was not a major.
Yeah, it was a base price increase on some, but not all products. And we fought for 20 plus years to not do that. But as you can imagine, we integrate with several vendors. We rely on several services to really bring our products to market, including software licensing as a development shop. We also have to host 2 data centers to support licensing. If you can imagine all of the vendors suddenly over the last 3 years deciding to increase their prices, it has made it extremely challenging. Once again, we are a small and privately owned company. We take great pride in that. What really is hurting our pride is having to adjust to the external influences from really all directions that we're seeing. And I know we're feeling that globally, not just M. Technologies in the United States. So it's been a very difficult path to make these decisions. I can promise you they were made with great caution and great thought. We understand our audience is still an audience that needs a lower cost solution. And when comparing ours, we still think that we are in that, in that realm or that area, if you will. So again, we did a price increase, a slight one in 2022. We've paused for 2 years. And we took those 2 years to really plan this out and think about it. And it's just something of necessity. We want to be here for many, many years. And we want to keep doing and delivering the same things that we're doing. Support is so important to us. We support obviously all of our partners and all of your resellers, and for all of you on the call, all of the customers, all the way to the end point. That support is critical to us, and of course that comes at a cost of doing business as well. So it's not something that's fun for us, and we're doing our best, and we will continue to do our best. I don't foresee many changes like this happening anytime soon. We're looking forward to 2025 and really just focusing on moving forward. Research and development, of course, costs dollars.
But of course.
Yeah, so we are enabling ourselves to ideally move forward and stay in this market for the foreseeable future.
But I mean, MDaemon still remains underpriced, in my opinion, compared to the value that it can deliver to the end users, and also to the resellers or to the IT service providers.
Right.
Because it works. It has, of course, there are problems, but I don't know any software that doesn't have problems. So
it used to be $89 for a lifetime license. Remember that? Way the hell back in the day. $89.
Not bad. Yeah,
for life. Not
maybe
bad.
You want to share with our customers, they were paying you with checks in the mail, right?
Yeah, they paid me with checks in the mail because there was no way I couldn't process any credit cards or anything like that, because I was just some guy in a apartment. So yeah, long time ago. Yeah, I don't like the price. I like to put off the price increases also. I do agree about the undervalued. Yeah, but I think we're where we should be at the moment right now with everything. And we never did push a lot of price increases and you can imagine all those things out and listed that we have vendors and costs associated with that. Those are not the same prices today as 20, 30 years ago. So, so we do it reluctantly, and every decision like that is with everyone in mind. The channel, our direct customers, our resellers, and all for every aspect of it. So anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, so just a couple of words in Italian.
Sure.
Quindi spero che abbiate seguito tutti, anche sentito tutti il fatto che dal 2025 ci sarà un aumento di prezzi. Se per chi vuole è una buona occasione per portarsi a casa un po' di rinnovi anticipati. Abbiamo messo nell'area clienti una schermata che dovrebbe aiutarvi a vedere la situazione delle vostre licenze e a rinnovare in anticipo appunto per poter fruire del listino che c'è in questo momento. Naturalmente, come abbiamo detto, il MDaemon rimane una soluzione dal prezzo piuttosto basso, per cui non è che l'aumento sconvolgerà il mercato, però se ci fossero dei clienti particolarmente sensibili avete questa possibilità. Un'ultima cosa, volevo solo dire che mi scuso ancora per i problemi di registrazione, mi danno un segnale scusate, di interpretariato, mi danno dei colleghi una notizia che comunque la registrazione sarà disponibile anche in inglese. Grazie ancora per la pazienza. All right, back to English because we have a question from Cesare. A customer is happy with MDaemon, but more and more users are missing being able to use Microsoft Teams, and we're thinking of migrating. I'm sorry, I can't read that. Thinking of migrating me to Microsoft 365. Do you have a solution to propose? Yeah, we do. So Alan, you want to take this? So how can we prevent Cesar to going to Microsoft 365?
Yeah, it is a tough problem for all of us right now because of you know, some inability to integrate with Teams. And again, where we're struggling, and we are working on this, we've dabbled in some plugins. We have one that's published with Teams, but we're trying to integrate an on-premise solution with a cloud platform. So Microsoft, again, is very slow to deliver us the opportunities in terms of software development or an SDK to make those things happen. But again, it's something that we're working towards. I don't have the answer today, unfortunately. We embrace Teams ourselves. We use Teams as an organization, so we understand the separation, if you will. So we know what we would like to see. We're just trying to break through the Microsoft barriers. Again, they're just so slow to deliver and support us integrators anymore. It's really unfortunate, and it's very intentional.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. I would like to thank the audience. Grazie mille a tutti voi che vi siete collegati. Thank you very much to Alan, Arvel. If you have any like parting remarks, they are obviously welcome.
Just to thank everybody again. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And
thank you so much. And I don't know if anybody can see my beer, but
all right. Italian pride.
I love Brody. It's very popular in the United States, but thank you so much to everyone for attending. This means the world to us. We love to talk to everyone around the globe, not just Andrea, but everyone. And we hope to possibly see all of you in person soon.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah. So you just have to fly over, and we can have an event here in Milano.
Yeah,
we should do something like that.
Yeah,
we should get together again. Yeah.
We're long overdue for traveling and shaking some hands for sure.
Absolutely. All right. So thank you so much, Alan and Arvel. Grazie mille a tutti voi che vi siete collegati. Arriva la registrazione anche con l'inglese e fate un sacco di renewal se volete prima dell'aumento dei prezzi e grazie ancora. Ciao. Cin cin.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.